Welcome to today's episode of the Simply Financial podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Calandra. Let's increase your financial IQ with today's episode. We find ourselves in September, and you probably don't know this, but September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. How exciting is that? Probably not too exciting, but I can tell you that I'm a certified financial planner. I have been a financial planner since graduating from college in 1992. It's the only career I've ever known. I do not consider myself a life insurance guy per se. I really went into this field because of an interest in investments, retirement planning, money management. That is really what fuels me. But I can say with all sincerity that some of the most important work that I do, that I have done, is helping individuals and families secure life insurance. It is not the sexiest, most exciting thing, but it is vitally important because when there is a tragedy, when there is a loss of a loved one, you want to make sure that protection, financial protection, is in place to take care of loved ones that might be left behind. So I want to talk about some statistics, and this comes from LIMRA, Limra, one of the leading, if not the leading organization regarding life insurance. So I'll throw some statistics out at you. According to LIMRA, there are 102 million uninsured or underinsured Americans. These are people who know they need or need more life insurance coverage. Additionally, LIMRA says that the percentage of consumers reporting that they own life insurance was 52% as of January of 2021. And that was down from 63% in 2011. So it went from 63% to 52%. That's the wrong direction. That's a bit alarming. And I will say that it seems a little surprising given that we all went through the pandemic where there was so much fear about our health and so many Americans passing away from COVID. So it went from 63 to 52. Really surprised me. And I'll also say that the LIMRA research that I looked at disclosed that 42% of Americans say their household would face financial hardship within just 6 months. So if a wage earner, somebody in the family passed away, almost half of Americans would be in a financial bind within 6 months. A whopping 25% would have a financial hardship within just 1 month. This is all information that indicates that if you have life insurance, you should review to make sure you have enough. And if you don't have any, you ought to consider getting some if there is a life insurance need. The last thing I'll mention in terms of the LIMRA information is that the top reason for not getting coverage is that it is too expensive. But more than half of American households overestimate the cost of life insurance threefold. So there's a lot of misinformation out there. There are affordable options most of the time. I'm speaking in generalities for an individual to acquire life insurance and probably not bust the budget. Give you an example. Just worked with some new clients recently. They're each 35 years old. They each acquired $1 million each of term insurance coverage. The term is for 30 years, meaning that now that they're approved, their premium and the $1 million death benefit on each of them is locked in for 30 years, taking them to age 65. She was able to get that coverage for $600 a month. $600 a year. That's important. $600 a year, only $50 a month. He was a little more expensive. He's a veteran of the U.S. Army, had some medical challenges. His came in at $900 a year or $75 a month. So for $1,500 a year combined, it's $125 a month. they each have $1 million of coverage. And that $1,500 premium will remain steady, will not change for 30 years, and they will maintain the total of $2 million of coverage. That is pretty affordable. This would allow them to protect one another and any children they have or children that may be added to their family later on. So your situation might be different. I'm using that just as a representation, but there are affordable options. I have been at this for 30 years. I know this to be true. Also note that I talked about term insurance. The team here at Elliott Wealth Management, my philosophy is heavily geared towards term insurance. There are other options out there, and there are usages of these other types of insurance, although I think that they are a distinct minority of the time when they make sense. I'm a big believer in term insurance. It's pretty much the only thing, not pretty much, it's the only thing that I own on myself and the only thing I've used in my family. Remember that the purpose of life insurance is to protect someone from a financial loss. And that could be a spouse, could be a business partner, could be a spouse because there are minor children in the mix. And so if someone passed away and the income they were generating or the role they played in the household could not be replaced easily, you want to have life insurance as financial protection. Does it solve all problems if a father or mother should pass away and there are young children in the household? Of course not. But money does go a long way to provide relief. Which brings me to my next point, and that is it's not uncommon for you to want or need or have multiple policies. I've had multiple policies because early on when Joelle and I got married, we had a policy. And then after a few years, we had our first child and I added a second policy. I decided to keep the first one. It made sense. And then I had a second one. Well, at the maximum, I have had 5 policies. I have 4 now. And what happened is, as my business grew, as my family grew and changed and evolved, my life insurance needs evolved as well. So I had multiple policies. There are other instances where you need more insurance and you get a new policy and you roll in the old one and you get rid of the old one and just get a bigger second one that replaces the first one. It really depends on the numbers and the situation. There is no uniform solution, but I think there's a misconception that you only can have or should have one policy. Often that is not the case. So it's Life Insurance Month. Congratulations, September. What a great honor to be awarded Life Insurance Awareness Month. But in all seriousness, it is an important topic, and I urge you to review the policies you have, to review if you have enough coverage, and if you don't have insurance, to entertain getting insurance. Of course, if you're working with us, or if you're not working with us and would like us to help you, we would be absolutely thrilled to do so. We bring a lot of expertise to this topic. So reach out to us. You could go to the website, elliottwealth.com. Look us up, give a call to the office, email. There are multiple ways to find us, but please do if it's something that you want to discuss. And I will also ask to subscribe to this podcast if you haven't done so already. I would like that a lot. I'll be back with you on the next episode of the Simply Financial podcast very soon. Thanks for listening today.
The views expressed are not necessarily the opinion of SagePoint Financial Incorporated and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Please note, the information being provided is strictly as a courtesy. When you link to any of the websites provided here, you are leaving this website. We make no representation as to the completeness or accuracy of the information provided at these websites, nor is the company liable for any direct or indirect technical or system issues or any consequences arising out of your access to your use of third-party technologies, websites, information, and programs made available through this website. When you access one of these websites, you are leaving our website and assume total responsibility and risk for your use of the websites you are linking to. Securities and advisory services are offered through SagePoint Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Elliott Wealth Management, LLC, not affiliated with SagePoint Financial.